Alright, inverse function. What are these? So, in the previous videos, you found out that function can be same as distance that you walk and time. Functions is similar uh, to walking, at a distance and at the rate of time. So any changes in time could mean you are taking or you're walking at a longer distance. So the shorter distance, a little time needed for you to walk. When we say inverse function, if that one is you are finding the time in relation to 2 kilometers that you covered walking, the inverse function is the other way around. That means you are looking at a certain span of time that you can cover in an X distance. Okay? So let's say you are given 30 minutes to walk through, and then how many kilometers you are going to take for that. So that's the concept of the inverse function. So inverse function has this f raised to the power -1 x. Every time you are going to see this symbol, this means an inverse function. So you will be given a function and you will be asked to find f raised to the power -1 x. Or it could be g -1 x, h -1 x. You have to refer to the name, okay? So remember the name. So if it is a composite function and you are trying to find the inverse of the composite function, it would be fg -1 x. Okay? So as you go along, it gets complicated. Alright? So let's say, for example, we have the x equals 2x plus 5 divided by 3. And you will be asked to, letter A, find f -1 x. So what to do with this? So this means you will leave the f behind, you will take the x here and all of this. So you're going to take only this part here. Take that one out. You can also write y here, since you have, again, we have two different types of x's here. The output and the input x. Alright? So you can write this one as y, and then you can go on with substituting. But in some books, they write x sub 1 here and x sub 2 here. Alright? Okay. For my case, I will just have to remember that this x is different from the other x, so these should not combine. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I will have x here equals 2x plus 5 divided by 3. Now you know what we are going to do. So again, in inverse function, you are going to change, instead of finding this x here, you are going to find this x now. Alright? So this becomes an output now, and this becomes an input. So if you're going to look at our equation now, you have 3 here and you have an x only here. So you can multiply this. So you can multiply this with 3, both sides. Alright? Then you will have 3x equals 2x plus 5. Right? So 3x equals 2x plus 5. And after that, you transfer 5 first to go to the other side. So you will then have 3x minus 5 equals 2x. Alright? And what to do with that? You're going to divide with 2. Divided by 2. Divided by 2. Now that x side becomes the output. So you will have this x 3x minus 5 over 2. Then rewrite it in the proper settings, the proper way. So you will use this. You are going to have f negative 1x is equal to this one right over here. So you will have 3x minus 5 over 2. Okay, how to check if our answer is correct? So how to check? See, since they are inverse, if you are going to substitute a number here, okay, say let's say 2. Alright? So if you're going to substitute 2 here, that means 4 plus 5, that's 9, divided by 3, the answer is 3. Now that answer, if you substitute that there, okay, if you substitute that there on our x here, that means you are going to get the number that you put from here, which is number 2. Again, if we are going to substitute, let's say 2 here, okay, 2. So 2 times 2 is 4 plus 5, that's 9, divided by 3. The answer is 3. Now right here, you have to substitute the answer. Okay, so substitute 3 here. So 3 times 3, that's 9, minus 5, that's 4, divided by 2, makes 2 as the answer. So they are going to go inverse with one another for the answer. There you go. This is your inverse function. So this is how you make one function an inverse function. Okay, so problem number 1 for inverse function. So you are given here f(x) equals 2x minus 4. And you are asked to find f negative 1, 8. The f negative 1 stands for the inverse function. So this means you are going to make this an inverse first. Then before you plug in 8 on the x after your inverse function. So let's start. So I'm going to make that an inverse. That means I'm going to have x equals 2x minus 4. Transfer 4 to the other side. That means x plus 4 divided 2x here. Then you are going to divide with 2. Divide with 2. You will have f negative 1 x as x plus 4 divided by 2. Okay? Then the 8 now will go to the x there. Alright? So this is not yet the answer. So the answer would be f negative 1x equals 8 plus 4 divided by 2, which means 12 divided by 2 equal to 6. So f negative 1x is equal to 6. Easy, right? Number 2 for inverse function. So you are given one function here, but in the exam it might be that we are going to give you two functions that you are going to find like this. So for this case, you are going to solve the equation fx equals f negative 1x. You have equal to f negative 1x. So this means this function we need to make an inverse function of that. So that's the first thing that we're going to do. So we are going to have f negative 1x equals to x plus 5 divided by 2. I will forget first the f negative 1. That means I will have x, then x plus 5 over 2. Then I'm going to multiply with 2 times 2. So I will have 2x equals x plus 5. Then transfer 5 to the other side. 2x minus 5 plus x. Alright, so f negative 1x is equal to 2x minus 5. Then I'm going to find out the equation. Okay, let's solve the equation. So I have first fx, that means x plus 5 over 2. So this is our fx. So this side, this one, equal to this one for the f negative 1x. So you have 2x minus 5. Okay? Now we need to have only one x here because we need to solve the x. Okay, so let's go. So what we are going to do now is multiply this with 2. Okay? So if we multiply that with 2, multiply it with 2, this side will be having 2 times 2x minus 5. Here is x plus 5. Okay. Then you distribute these 2 here. You are going to have x plus 5. Then you will have 4x. Then minus 10. Okay, so for this case, you are going to group now. So it's either you transfer x on that side and then 10 on the other side, up to you. Or you can transfer 4x here and then 5 there. Same thing. Okay? So if I'm going to transfer this 4x here and then transfer 5x there. Okay, so I'll be having x minus 4x, then I'll have then I have 10 minus 5 there. Okay? So it's a minus, so this becomes plus, that becomes minus 10. Remember that? Right. So I'll have 15 here, and then I'll have 3x here, minus 3x. Then this, by the way, is also minus here. Okay, because you have minus 10 plus minus 5. So it's a minus 15. Then divided by 3. Okay, so where can we write the answer? So the answer here would be, you will have x equals negative 15 divided by negative 3. Because you are going to divide that with minus 3. So the answer is positive 5. Okay, so the solution of this is positive 5. Let's try it. Let's check. So if we write this 5 here, so x plus 5, I mean right here, by the way, this is the original without the 2 because we transpose with the 2. So x will be 5, that means 5 plus 5 is 10 divided by 2. The answer is 5. And right here in our inverse function also, the x is 5, right? So 5 times 2, 10, minus 5 is 5. So both sides have the same answer, 5. So this means our inverse function is correct, and our solution for both the normal function and the inverse function to solve for the x is correct. Okay? I hope I was using a little bigger board that I have here. I did not expect that it will be a long solution. Alright guys, you can rewind the video anytime so that you can understand the procedure or the workings and the steps. Alright guys, thank you.